So I would like to discuss what I call the James Joyce effect. Sometimes people say cryptic things, and you do not know whether you can invest your time and effort into understanding that because it could well be a fashionable nonsense. There are those people who suggest that they are profound and they know something uh, deeply true, but there's no guarantee that they actually do have these secret wisdoms. And so that's the problem of cryptic texts. And one, unless you are sure that there's something to investigate, you cannot really bring yourself to try to understand it. But in the case of James Joyce, because he has written perfect masterpieces, totally comprehensible and totally profound and totally accessible, you would treat his text with great respect and attention. His collection of short novels, The Dubliners, is manifest masterpiece, and every short story is so wonderful, in which the protagonist encounters his or her epiphany, and where the truth of life and world and everything else will be revealed. So the Dubliners is a really wonderful piece, and also A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man is a great piece. I love it. It's a process, a journey, where the young artist finds his mission, and this is obviously referring to James Joyce himself, and it's accessible, understandable, profoundly stimulating masterpiece. So, because James Joyce has written these texts, when you facing Ulysses or Finnegans Wake, all these really enigmatic, cryptic, and sometimes nonsensical texts, you would assume that probably there will be something profound in these texts. I mean, because even when it doesn't make sense, you would assume that behind it all, James Joyce has something hidden, some treasure of intellectual and emotional and aesthetical and even religious significance. And so because you have this strength of secure base, if you like, of the Dubliners and the Portrait of the Young Man as an artist. Sorry, a Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. You would have the courage, and you have the energy, and you have the emotional assurance to tackle Ulysses and Finnegans Wake. So this I call the James Joyce effect. Of course, logically speaking, it could be possible that there are two James Joyces, one that makes sense and one that doesn't, and that is always possible. It's always possible that Ulysses and Finnegans Wake are after all fashionable nonsenses, but that is hardly likely, I think. And so that is the James Joyce effect. So when you treat something enigmatic or cryptic, look for signs of assured significance. I mean, does that somebody have expressed something that is manifestly profound, manifestly wonderful? If so, maybe you can approach the cryptic text with respect and jeer. And that is, I think, one of the most wonderful and rewarding ways to, train your brain. And, trying to solve a puzzle is wonderful. So what is wonderful, is here is that this world, I mean, the world we live in, is sometimes like enigmatic and cryptic. But, it's like James Joyce. It's the ultimate James Joyce. I mean, the chap who made all this, I don't know if it's a god or somebody else. It may be a highly developed super intelligence developed by some aliens, and we are all in a simulation. That is possible. But I feel that the puzzle that is this world, and the puzzle that we are, and the puzzle of the relationship between the brain and consciousness, I think there's this assurance that there will be something wonderful behind it. I do believe that not only is it cryptic, but also it will be ultimately rewarding. And I think that the ultimate application of James Joyce effect, if you like. I mean, we are assured of the fundamental significance of, the world and ourselves, and all our intellectual effort to tackle the puzzle that is this world would be ultimately rewarded. That is my own belief. And so in that respect too, the James Joyce effect is something wonderful. And that's my talk.